file class. It acts like a wrapper class for file names. The file name like numbers.txt has only string properties. File has some very useful methods exist. It tests if a file is already exist or not. Can read. Test if the OS will let you read a file. Test can write. Test if the OS will let you write to a file. Deletes the file and returns true if successful. Length, it returns the number of the bytes in the file. Get name, returns file name excluding the preceding path. Get path, returns the path name with the full name. Alternative with scanner. Instead of buffer reader with file reader, then the tokenizer. Use scanner with file. Scanner in file is equal to new scanner of n file. It's a new file in text file. Reading is in it. Scanner in file, new scanner of new file in number, while in file as in. Reading the lines of characters. Scanner in file, new scanner, new file in txt. String line, while in file has next line. Line in file in next line. Multiple types in one line. Buffer reader versus scanner. It parsing primitive types. Scanner next int, next float for parsing types. Buffer reader read line. None for parsing types. Need string tokenizer, then wrapper class methods like integer dot parseInt of token. Buffer reader versus scanner. It checking the end of the file string. Buffer reader read line returns null. It return -1. Scanner next line, it throws exception. Needs as next line to check first next int and has next int. Basic binary file IO. Import and classes for binary output file to the file. Object input stream, file output stream. Import classes for binary file input from the file. Object input stream, file input stream. Note that file output stream and file input stream are usually used only for their constructors, which can take file's name as arguments. Object output stream and object input stream that cannot take file name as an argument for their constructors. And Java file IO stream classes. Object input stream and object output stream. It have methods to either read or write data one byte at a time. Automatically convert numbers and the characters into a binary. Binary encoded numeric files. Files with numbers are not readable by text editor but store data more efficiently. When using object output stream to output data to files, the output files are binary and that can store any number of the primary data types, that is primitive data types, int, character double and string type. The files created that can be read by other Java programs but are not printable. The Java IO library must be imported by including the line import java.io. It contains object output stream and other useful class definitions. Handling IO exception. IO exception cannot be ignored. Either handle it with a catch block or defer it with the throws class. We will put the code to open the file and write unit try block and write catch block for this exception. Catch IO exception of E system.out.println problem with output. So opening a new file, output file, the file name is given as a string. The file name rules are determined by your operating system. Opening an output file takes 2 steps. Creating file output stream, the object that are associated with the file name string. Connect the file output stream, an object output stream object. This is done with the one line of code. So opening an output file. To open file named numbers, object output stream is equal to new object output stream. New file output stream numbers that. The constructors for object output stream requires the file output stream argument. The constructor for file output stream that requires the string argument. The string argument is the output file name. The following 2 statements are equivalent to the single statement above. File output stream is equal to new file output stream of numbers. File output stream is equal to new output stream of some objects output stream methods. You can write data into an output file After it is connected to a stream, use methods defined in object output stream. Write int integer of n, write double x, write boolean of b, etc. Note that each write method throws IO exception. It is eventually we will have to write catch block for it. Also note that each write method includes a modifier final methods that cannot be redefined in a derived classes. Closing a file. An output file should be closed when you are done writing to it. Use the close method of the class object output stream. For example, to close the file opened in the previous example, output stream close function. Writing a character to a file, an unexpected lattice complexity. The method write has an annoying property. It takes integer, not a character argument. But it is easy to fix, just case that character to it. For example, to write the character A to the file opened previously, so output stream write character int of A. Just use the automatic conversion to form int. Writing a global value to a file. Boolean values can be either two values, true or false. True and false are not just names for the values, they are actually a type of boolean. For example, to write the boolean value false to the output file, output stream write boolean of false. Writing a string to a file, another little unexpected complexity. Use the write UTF method, Unicode, ASCII, UTF, and input files are binary and contain any of the primitive data types, integer, character, double, and string type. This file that can be read by the Java program but are not printable. The Java IO library must be imported, including the line import java.io. It contains the object input stream and other useful class definitions. Opening a new input file. Similar to opening an output file, but replace output with input. The file name is given as a string. File name rules are determined by your operating system. Opening a file takes two steps. Creating file input stream object that are associated with the file name string. Connecting to the file input stream object. This is done as the online. For example, opening an input file, the file name named numbers that, new file input stream, new file input stream numbers that. So these are all the object input stream methods. For every output file method there is a corresponding input file method. You can read data from an input file after it is connected to the stream class. Use methods definition objects input stream. Read int, read double, read boolean. Input file exceptions. A file that not found exception is thrown. The file is not found when an attempt to open a file. So avoiding common object input stream file errors. There is no error message or exception if you read wrong data types. Common method to test to the end of the file. A common programming situation, it is read data from an input file but not to know how much data the file that contains. There are three common ways to test for the end of the file. Put a sentinel value to the end of the file and test for it. Throw and catch the end of the file exception. Test for a special character that signals the end of the file. Text files often have such a character. The end of file exception class many but not all methods that read from a file throw and the end of the file exception when they try to read beyond the file. All the object input stream methods displays and do not throw. The end of the file exception can be used as an infinite while of true loop that reads and processes the data from the file. The loop terminates when an end of file except it's thrown. The program is written to continue normally after the end of exception that has been caught. Use the end of exception. It is an intentional infinitive loop to process data from input file. While true between the open and close parentheses, n is equal to input stream read in system.out.println. Loop exists when end of file exception is thrown, that is catch end of exception. Processing continues after end of exception is on. Input file is closed, that is input stream close. Note order of catch blocks. The most specific is first and the most general last. Binary input output class objects. Read and write class objects is binary file. Class must be serializable. Input java.io.star. Implement serializable interface. and implement serializable to heading of class definition. Public class specifies implement serializable methods used to write object to file, write object method in output object stream. To read a file, object from file, read object method in object input stream.